Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. And it is my pleasure to be before you today. I was trying to figure out how I could share this post. I would really like to share it. And but I didn't I don't see where I can, and I'm not in my office. I'm outside actually. And I normally don't sit outside, but today is such a lovely day, such a beautiful day. So I said, let me sit outside and talk to y'all about my dreams. So for those who don't know, I'm a dreamer. I have dreams. A few people in my family were dreamers. My aunt, for one, was a dreamer. So a lot of times what happens with us is that we would dream something and it would come true. The thing about our dreams are they're not necessarily like deja vu dreams, okay? So it's not the type of dream whereas I'll dream and then something happened, then I'll say, oh, I dreamed this. Now, I do have those type of dreams, but with my dreams, I would dream sometimes a whole scenario, and it would end up happening, okay? Or I would dream something and then the bottom line will end up happening. So I'm going to give you an example. It started when I was younger, but it didn't stay with me when I was younger. So one time I dreamed, it was around the time my grandfather died, I dreamed that my mom had went away. That basically my mom was gone. And my grandmother was in the bed because we were going to take off for Atlanta the next day, because that's where my family is primarily from. And so I was dreaming that my mama died, and I'm crying in my sleep. And my grandmother woke me up out of my sleep and asked me what was going on, and I told her about my dream. So my grandmother actually told me how to counter my dreams, okay? And so we prayed and prayed that it wouldn't happen. We prayed that God would spare my mom's life. And we prayed, just prayed over that. So what ended up happening, or what we found out, is that my mother had actually almost died in her sleep. Okay? And my grandfather actually woke her up, who was already dead. Okay, so that's what happened, and you can ask her about that incident with her, and she'll tell you, yep, her father woke her up. Apparently, I was having a dream, and I don't want to say it happened at the same time. I don't know, but she was dying in her sleep, and I woke up crying, and my grandmother taught me how to counter those dreams. So then I didn't have too many dreams that I can remember as a child, but that was one, because I had never ever woken up in my sleep crying before. As I got older and I was in the military, let me say 1999. Whew, this is why I don't come outside like that. 1999, my captain, I was in the Army, for those of you that know, my captain, I was sleeping, and my captain came to me in my sleep. And when he came to me in my sleep, he had on, he didn't have on, this is what he looked like. He had hooves on his feet, like bulls, not horse, bull hooves. He had hairy legs, thighs like an animal, basically like an animal. He had wings. He had he was tall. I mean, he was extra tall. And his face was on this body. And then he asked me, he was standing in a tunnel. He was in a tunnel, y'all. And it was a dim light, like the tunnel lights that we have. And I was in the tunnel for some reason. And he asked me, what time is it? And I answered him, I don't know. And I ran out of the tunnel. That was my captain. When I ran out the tunnel, I ended up it's still dark. It was a street light. It was a book, and the street light was the street light was shining on the book. So I looked in the book, and the book said Arnette P. That's whose name was highlighted in the book. And it had names all in the book, okay? So, okay, to find out that the first part of my dream was my captain, I found out that he had died. Well, a few days later after the dream, I found out he had died. And so, I'm like, well, he must have been asking me what time it is because he was dying, I didn't know. I didn't even understand these dreams. I really didn't. But the Arnette P got me because I had an aunt named Arnette Parks at the time. And so I called my mom and I was like, Ma, is Arnette all right? Is everything okay? Well, she was like, well, listen, Arnette is fine, but I need you to sit down. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Because I was in Georgia. And the captain was in Georgia, but the other one was in Virginia. My aunt, who I thought something was wrong with her. So my mom was like, sit down, let me talk to you. And she said, Nat is okay, but Tina died. And Tina was my cousin. And her name was Arnette Perry. So that's where her middle name and her last name. And that's where the Arnette P came from. It was my cousin who had died, not my aunt. And I of course I had a hard time processing it. I had a hard time understanding how that dream came to me. I didn't get it. So I was afraid. I really wasn't close to God the way I should have been, the way I grew up. We backslid, and I did. I was sliding tremendously. And so I didn't understand it, and I didn't want it. I didn't want it at all. I didn't want it. And so I asked him to take away that gift, which I later know. Well, I later grew to understand that it was a gift, and I asked him to take away the gift. Okay? And he took that gift away for about a year. I didn't have any dreams for a year after dreaming about my cousin. Okay? But listen, y'all, a year later, the gift came back. And the first dream that I had was my dream. Okay, so I was still in how can I put it? I was still in 1999. It has to be 1999 because I remember I said, well, thank you, God, I'm going to live to see 2000, because that's when everybody was concerned that 1999 was going to be it. You remember they was playing Prince and everything, and all that stuff. So I was like, I'm going to live to the year 2000 at least, because I dreamed I was laying in my coffin, and I had, of course, white. The person that was tending to me had on white pants. When I looked up from the coffin at the sign, it had my name on it. It had my birthday year, and then it had 2000. Well, it had 20, and then the last two numbers were gone. And I knew I was okay. I was going to live to 2000 at least. So those last two numbers can be anything. But I dreamed about myself, and it wasn't scary. It was calming, actually. It was what I wanted. It was what I wanted because I like pink and stuff, so it was light colors. So I assumed it was pink. So after that, the dreams came back, and I was dreaming more and more and more. And some of the dreams I'm not going to tell you about because it probably will scare some of you and whatnot. But I learned how to deal with them. I learned how to kind of understand most of them. One thing I do know about my dreams is that my dreams are about me and my people, meaning people that are around me, my friends, my family. I do not dream about worldly things. Those are not my dreams. My dreams are about the people who are in my immediate vicinity. Okay, so my dreams are kind of tailored to who's in my life. That's what I mean. And so I had a dream. I remember dreaming about, let's say my grandmother first. I dreamed about, I want to say my grandmother died first, maybe not, but this is my dream about my grandmother. I told my mom, I said, okay, grandma's not going to be here much longer with us. This was before we knew that she was sick. And before I started taking her to her dialysis and all that stuff, I think that's where I took her, dialysis or chemo, one of them I was taking her to. So it probably was chemo because she had cancer. So I'm taking her to chemo and stuff. But before all that happened, I had a dream. And it's like, Mom and Grandma not going to be with us that long. My dream showed me that she is going to be buried in a white coffin, a light color coffin, if not light pink. That's the color coffin she's going to be buried in. I told Mama what she was going to have on in that coffin. And there's a few more things that I told her, I described, because they made me promise, Grandma and my mama made me promise that I would never tell them when I have a dream about them passing. And so, of course, I wouldn't have told Grandma. But so I told Mama, and we went to the funeral home when Grandma passed, because she did pass. And we went to the funeral home. And the only casket that the funeral home had on hand was a light color casket, which was white with, I guess, pinkish around it. And that was the only casket that they had that was feminine. So we weren't going to put her in a blue casket. We weren't going to put her in a black casket or nothing like that. The only casket they had for a woman at the time, without having to order one, was that light color casket. That was the casket my grandma was buried in. Then her outfit was light. She didn't have on dark colors. And see, the thing was, I was there, but I didn't make the decisions for what we were going to put her in and anything like that. Because somebody was like, well, weren't you there when they picked out the casket? Of course I was there when they picked out the casket, but that was the only casket available, which means in my dream, it was correct. She was going to be buried in a light color casket. Suppose that casket in my dream was hot pink. I can guarantee you there would have been a hot pink casket in that funeral home. See, and that's why, I don't tell people about my dreams, because there's always somebody that want to be sarcastic when I'm trying to explain to them about my gift, because like I said, that is what this is. This is a gift that I have. It's not a curse. So I have learned to accept it and respect it. So that was my grandmama's. And then when my aunt got sick, and we knew she was sick, but we didn't know the extent. But this is the thing. Her medical records came to my house. I don't know how the mailman made that mistake, but she had ordered her medical records. Her medical records was delivered to my house, because we both had the same street number. Not the same street, but the same street number. So her medical records were dropped off at my house. So I asked my aunt, I called her and I said, hey, I got some paperwork here for you. And she was like, bring it to me right now. Because I was going to send it back to the post office. Bring me my mail right now. Bring me my mail right now. Because everybody knew I had these dreams, okay? And I assumed that she wanted me far away from her business as I could possibly can be. And so she was like, bring it to me, bring it to me. I was like, okay, stop yelling. I'm going to bring it. So I took her mail. That night, I had a dream. That night, I had a dream, okay? Now, my aunt lasted a few months after that dream, so it didn't happen overnight. But that night that I received her mail in my box from her doctor, I had a dream. So I told Mama, this is why I don't come outside, y'all. So I told Mama, I said, Mom, I need for you to go spend some time with your sister, because you're not going to have a lot more time with her, right? So I nearly got shook that day. She was so upset with me. So she was so upset with me because she didn't want to face the fact that she might be losing her baby sister. But who am I not to tell my mom that this is what you need to do? So I told her in so many words. I said, you need to. I didn't tell, I didn't say she about to die. I just said, go spend some time with her. So my mother started increasing her time that she spent with her sister. And she started going over there and sitting with her and, hanging with her and what not. And I, would pick up my aunt. One time I took her to this play at Norca. And my aunt was the most ghettoest thing up in there. And I loved it. I mean, I know the people wanted her to shut up. She was talking to the actors. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let them do that, girl. I couldn't do that but smile because she was enjoying herself. And not too long after that, we lost her. She well, I wouldn't say lost, but, whatever battle she was going through, she won it, but she won it on the other side. So those are the type of dreams that I have. And like I said, it only happens with people that are, close to me. And I'm not going to sit here and go through all my dreams, but I just want y'all to know that when I got up this morning, and I got up early around about, I want to say 7 o'clock. And when I got up, my heart was broken. My heart was broken. I had a dream. I had a full dream seemed like from top to bottom, from start to finish. I had a full-blown dream, and that dream just broke my heart. And I'd rather not even talk about what the dream was about. And I wouldn't even tell my mom when I told her about the dream, and, praying and all that stuff. But she was like, who's dying? That's what she said. Am I dying? Were you dreaming about me? Am I going to die? Am I dying? No, it's not you. Well, who's dying then? Who's around you get ready to go? And I just wouldn't tell her what the dream was about because I didn't want to talk about it. Well, don't tell me, and I'm not praying. That's what she said. I'm not praying for nothing. If you won't tell me, no, I'm not going to tell you what my dream was about. This is the first time that my dream broke my heart so much to where I didn't want to talk about it. I normally would talk about it because I want people to know or be prepared. But this time I couldn't talk about it. My heart broke. It hurts. It was hurting so badly. I just couldn't even talk about it. All I wanted to do was just pray against this dream. I wanted to just ask God to cancel this assignment that's bound to come. And so that's why I asked for prayers, because this is the first time I ever felt like I don't want to talk about this dream. And so I also want people to be mindful. There are prognitive dreams, dreams that tells you, gives you a little glimpse into the future, and gives you information that you wouldn't normally know. It comes from your dream. And but my dreams, I do that, but my dreams actually, I know it's coming. I just don't know when. And that's how my dreams are. And that's why my mother made me promise that I will never tell her when I have a dream about her going to be with the Lord, because my dreams, they come true. They come true. And a lot of people, I even had, a preacher doubt it. How you gonna doubt it? You're the preacher. You're the preacher. And I'm telling the truth because I've given you examples of it. I've told you things, and how you gonna doubt it? So, a lot of people just not prone to accept certain things. But just like I wasn't prone to accept my dreams when it first happened, and I asked God to take them away. But listen, what's for you is for you. And that's the gift he gave me. And he gave them right back to me when I was at another level. But it was just a year later. But I was able to better accept what he gave me and try to understand how to interpret the dreams, who is going to be like. I had a dream earlier this year that somebody close to me, I was going to lose. I had a description. I mean, he had a little afro. He was an older guy, but I haven't placed it together who it was. I don't know who it was, but because so sometimes my dreams are not precise, but sometimes I do know exactly who is in my dream. I know exactly what's going to happen to them, and I am not a psychic, so don't go there. This is nothing evil. This is just a gift that I have. I don't sit here and try to determine what's going to happen to somebody. It comes to me when it comes to me, and just sometimes this dream I had this morning was the closest to the time where I woke up crying from my sleep when I was a child, when I had my first dream. And so that it just took me for a loop this morning, because I never felt that way. But I woke up with my heart broken. Now, I done woke up from dreams tired because I've been fighting. I've been fighting in a dream. I don't know if y'all ever did that, but I woke up from one dream. I had been fighting, baby. I was scuffling. I'm talking about 1980 style fighting, baby. You know them fights where you take a break and you start back up again? I would fight like that, because see, I don't know about y'all kids here in 2024, but see, we didn't use guns and all that stuff, but we fought to the finish, honey. We took breaks, we ate lunch, we came back outside and fought some more. We kept the fights going until we was done. And so I had one of those fights in my dream, baby, the whole fight. And by the time I got up, I was exhausted, tired, baby, because I was tearing up something up in that dream. But I don't know what to tell you. If you're the type of person that have these dreams, don't be afraid, and don't hide them, because you're not. There's nothing wrong with you. It's your gift, and everybody have different gifts. Some people have dreams. Some people have visions. We still have it. It still works, and so just be grateful and ask God for understanding how to use it, and then be mindful who you might hurt if you say too much. I have to, and like the person I dreamed about, I would never say anything to him about my dream, but I just ask for prayers that God would not allow it to happen, and it can be reversed. A lot of times I'll dream about something, then I'll be like, Lord, God forbid that happen. Lord, please don't allow that to happen. And he protects. Okay, so that's about all I got to say about my dreams, because I don't want y'all around here talking about something wrong with her. There is nothing wrong with me. I have been blessed with the gift of being a dreamer. And we've had, like I said, a few people in my family who have been dreamers. My aunt, the one that I knew, the latest one, she passed on a few years ago. But it is what it is, and I could talk to my grandma about it when she was living. That's why she knew she didn't want me to tell her when she was going to die. And I honored her wish, and I'm honoring my mom's as well. If y'all don't want me to tell y'all, if you close to me and you don't want me to tell you, I'll honor yours too. Just let me know. Don't tell me. Say, don't tell me. Don't tell me. And I honor you. I won't tell you to get prepared. But listen, remember, cherish your gifts, no matter what it may be, whether it be working with people, whether it may be, building people up, influencing them to do better. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your gift is, whether it's in the church, it was working in the yard, just cherish your gift, appreciate your gift. You sing to the best of your abilities. Take care of your voice, your vocal cords, and all that stuff. Just take care of things. Do not take it for granted, because a lot of times you can lose it. I don't know what I'll do if I lose my dream now. Even though I had once asked the Lord to take them away, I don't know what I'll do if I can't dream now. I've come to look forward to whatever dream it is that I'm going to have, because I don't have them every day. I don't have them weekly. I'm not no psychic. I don't call them up. They just come. And I look forward to when my dream is going to come, and I appreciate it now. So I cherish this gift that God has given me, and I ask you to cherish yours as well. Listen, God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself and go on and love someone else. Until we shall meet again, may you be tremendously blessed. You take care.